Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, last session we did return investigation to the shroud stuff, a ghost object. So right now in debugger I can see this weird constellation where one player has a strange snapshot in here where the first render object is A1 and then the next is B and then the next is A1 again. And for the other guys the snapshots look different. There it is the base one, then B and then A1. So there's some discrepancy. I wonder if that is related to the problems we are observing with lingering ghost objects once we try to purge all visible ghost objects. It is not clear to me how this happened. I think we probably need to take a look how these snapshots are modified. So we have, what do we have? We have free snapshot. Okay, what does that do? Free snapshot. Okay, so the end product is that we have a null parent snapshots. What does it do? Snap, it starts here, next snap. Yeah, y snap, next snap, delete snap, and then snap, next snap. Yeah, okay, this looks fine. Yeah, this looks fine. Let's see free all snapshots. This looks free snapshot. Why is this free all snapshots? Oh, what is the difference between free snapshots and free all snapshots? Free all snapshots. Free all. Free snapshot. Free all snapshots. Okay, what I'm seeing here is that this function is missing this check here for the local player. I wonder if that is a problem. It doesn't explain the bug we are seeing, but it looks like some issue. Free snapshot. Free snapshot. To me, it looks like this check is totally useless. I think we can remove that because if the player doesn't take snapshots, then this will be null. So we don't need that check. And then we can simplify this here, and we just call free snapshot here. Free snapshot, player index, done. And then we can remove all this here. Okay, let me go back to this guy. Okay, so free snapshot looks perfectly fine to me. It sets it to null, so everything is good. Snapshot we also looked at in the previous session, and it also looked fine. Yeah, I think so. Snap. It's like adding and updating in one go. Adding or updating in one go. Snapshot. What else do we have here? Remove from scene, it's just taking the pointer and just going through all the guys. Here, add to scene, this is the exact same release. What is this doing? Release. Aha. This one doesn't look right. This one doesn't look right because it doesn't recover the object, right? Release. Where's this called? Oof. Maybe it's never called. Yeah, release is not a very helpful function name because there probably will be a lot of things that are named like this, so it will be hard to find. Maybe. Is this a virtual function? No, at least. Looks like it's not called. Used by manager, return object to free store. Well, it looks like it's never called. It looks like it's never called. If it is never called, then it looks like that free all snapshots takes the role of whatever I try to do. Release. Yeah, To me, it looks like a worse implementation of free all snapshots. Okay, how about we remove it? Let's see if that works. Reducing the complexity of the implementation. For some reason I can't search for this now anymore. Why not? It's hung up. Shit. Oh, it's hung up. Maybe we wait a moment. Might want to also fix delete instance internal. Does not do any null testing, so this change could cause issues there. Okay. Well, that's not a problem because it calls delete MPO. Oh, that's fine. Game memory. Quote reply. Oh boy. Quote. Looks good to me. Delete. Delete is supposed to null tests in itself. Okay, we are back in action. Good. So we also have some Xfer, but we don't care about that. We have update offhand objects. Do we care about that? What? looks suspicious. Non-local players. Non-local players. Updating the shroud status if this ghost object could remove it from the scene. If it becomes visible, put parent object is gone. What? What is this sentence? Updating the shroud status of this ghost object could remove it from the scene if it becomes visible, but parent object is gone. Ah, okay. It is a proper English sentence. Updating could remove it from the scene. Remove ghost object. If stored snapshots. Okay. The formatting makes it hard to read when everything's so tight together. Yeah. Oh, man. It's okay. So it checks if why. Why does it check it again? Get shroud status. Because this one can modify it. Oh, okay. Okay, seems about right. Yeah. Oh man. I currently have no idea why this would happen here. Everything seems to be okay now. I mean, we deleted a bunch of junk, but it doesn't explain the issue. But it must be somewhere here. Yeah. There's somewhere. Object. Remove. Add to scene. Object. Snap. Add to scene. Remove normal object. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the issue, but how did it get there? That I don't understand. How did this happen? Snapshot. Snapshot. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, oh man. Ah, the formatting here, man. The programmer really liked some weird indentation. Yeah. But he didn't do it always, just sometimes. When he felt extra tight. He probably had like a small monitor. Mark is his name. Look at that. This is a guy. 23 years ago. Just cleaning up so it's easier to read. Okay, so I have a basic understanding of how all this works, but I still don't see where the error is. It's a mystery. It is clearly somewhere. Add to scene. Remove from scene. Can we see what kind of object this is? 3D object class. There's certainly something else here. Oh, what could be the reason, man? What could be the reason? It's probably something stupid, no? Okay, so essentially now we only have... What is remove ghost object doing? Remove ghost object is calling free all snapshots. Where should we start looking? I don't know. I mean, effectively now we only modify it in Xfer, but we don't care because we don't do save load. We only modify it in free snapshot. Now we just set it to null here, which is fair enough. We do a remove from scene and a restore parent. That's also fair enough. Let's look at this one more time. Snap. Good. So we have a snap here. So let's say this is not null. It's not null. Then what happens? Then we would go down here. Let me make here some formatting change. So let's say it goes down here. Then it would update it. Huh. This looks wrong, doesn't it? Yeah. I think this should be snap updates, right? Because it would always only just update the first one here, which is not right. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's see if it still compiles. We removed the one function, the release function. Okay, that works. Okay, maybe that is a whole bug. Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, I don't really know what to look for. Need to load a replay. Okay. Okay, so we are looking at ghost objects here right now. Okay, let's click on back. Oh. But that looks correct now, yeah. Now it has removed all the ghost objects. Fantastic. Only the shadows are left. Okay, but this looks correct now. We have no remains. Okay, so we fixed the problem. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So I think it was this one thingy here that we just, where was it? Already lost here. So here, what it did, it always updated. It always updated this here, the first entry, but it needs to update the actual entry that it's at with the new render object, and not the first one. That's the bug. I wonder if I wonder why this only showed up here as a bug. Okay, now with this in place, let's get back to this one function where we one function where we did some resetting. This one? No. This one. Here. Yeah. Let's go back to this guy. Okay, so right now we only remove all the ghost objects from the scene. Okay. Now the question is if we so this is the code that we tested with. Let's put that away. Let me put that into a if one tests, and if, let's put it on 0. Okay, so this is the original code, right? Okay, so now basically we want, so we call remove from scene, local player, and then, Jesus Christ, this formatting. Okay, and here, so we remove the ghost object from the scene, then we check if we have snapshot, but new player, it's a new player, okay. That's the other guy, not the local player. New player has his own snapshot. Yeah. New player has its own snapshot. Previous player didn't have a snapshot, so real object must have been in the scene. Add to scene. Okay, fair enough. Else, and new player doesn't have a snapshot, which means restore original object if it was placed by a snapshot. Okay, I trust that this is correct. Let's test that. Let's test it. Okay. Nope. Load. Load pre-play. Okay. So then let's click here. Okay, so this looks okay so far. The light here is strange, but okay. It's probably not wrong. Good, so now we click on back. Oh, now we have a light here. Okay, that looks wrong. Also, we have two flags. Oof. Okay, things still look wild. Yeah, let's click again. Yeah. It looks like we have now two flags here. Two ghost objects. Maybe. It looks like there's now a ghost object still here, no? Yeah, it looks like a ghost object is not disappearing here. Ugh. And it looks like we get more and more ghost objects. Look, there's 3 flags now. So we are duplicating here. Yeah. Yeah. There's something is still wrong here. The ghost objects are not properly disappearing. We have, it looks like we're getting more and more ghost objects. They are not cleaned up properly. It looks like we have now 5 or so ghosts, or 6 or more ghost objects here on one place. Right? Which you can see here by those flags. Yeah, and also by the lights. Okay, so there's still some bug, but it's probably some other bug. Okay. Now the question is, why is that happening? It could be that that this code is not quite right. That something is missing there. Yeah. Okay, so the observation is that we are getting more and more ghost objects. How about we... let me take a copy of... So this is the original. If original. Okay, so and this is our testing here. So how about we... So we remove from scene this and we add to scene that. Restore. Remove parent object. Okay, let me remove this here. Yeah, just this. Actually, yeah, let's just remove this here for starters. Let's see what happens. Nope. We'll be right back. Okay, so load replay. Okay, so click. Okay, so now we don't add back a ghost object. Okay, it looks like that got rid of this problem. But it maybe there will be a different problem then. Okay, so let's click on a different player. So Mad Dog, let's click on him. Okay, There's a house missing here. Is it gone? No. Why can't he see this house? Okay, something is wrong down here, but otherwise it looks kind of okay. Okay, this one looks buggy, and this as well. Okay, so we still have some fundamental issues here. Some objects are somehow not showing, like this oil derrick here, for example. Okay, so something is wrong. I suspect it happens because I don't know why. Maybe because only the local player gets updates on fog in certain events. Yeah. I'm not sure why this happens. But it looks still very buggy. Oh boy. He can't even see his own oil derricks. That's worrying. Oof. Oh boy. feature. Okay, so right now I have no clue what the problem is. Okay, so we have seen that adding this to the scene will... I think what this means is that we can add duplicates to the scene, right? So no snapshot. Add to scene. I wonder if we should add like a check here where we say if the object is already added, like Boolean, added to scene. Actually, doesn't this already contain this information? So it contains a render object, and the render object contains a scene. Isn't seen. Is rendered. Is there something like is render or something? add render objects. So this add to scene. Add to scene. Add to scene. Add render object. Snap render object. To see subject. Inline void remove from scene. Add render object. Simple scene class. Okay, what if we do here margins not is in scene, not is insane. If not, it's insane. And you say snap, add to scene. Remove from scene. Remove from scene. Okay, so I think this will avoid the duplication if we call add to scene more than once on it, for whatever reason. Now, will it fix all the problems? I don't think so, but it makes it a bit more resilient, let's say. Okay, let's give that a spin. Oh boy. Oh boy. Const. Good, let's see. Okay, so oh, we already have double here. Well, that didn't went well. It's already double. Haha. Okay, well, that didn't went well. Add to scene. Let me add a breakpoint here. objects. Container. Scene null. Remove from scene. Scene. Remove render object. So it looks like it removes it, but okay, at least we fixed one of the problems. That's a start. I don't know what this other problem is now. Add to scene. Okay, it's strange that it looks like we remove it from the scene and when we add it here because it's not in the scene, but somehow it's still duplicating it. Very strange. Okay, I don't know why this keeps duplicating object. Either the problem is it's not removing it, or well, it is removing it. I don't understand why why this causes problems. Yeah. I have the suspicion that this doesn't work because this assumes that the new player sees the exact same things as the previous local player. Maybe. But like just because we remove now this ghost object doesn't mean we have to add this ghost object, right? Like to me it seems like a wrong assumption, right? So I think that this is all wrong here. We probably need to add and remove things based on the new state, right? On the shroud status. Depending on that, we need to do things. Yeah. Oh man, it's not easy. So right now I don't know how to implement the correct logic, but to me this looks all wrong. I don't know why this creates duplicates, because clearly it's removing it, but then it somehow adds duplicates. I don't know why. Um, yeah. Okay, so where do we get the shroud status here? Get shroud status. Um, So I think what we would need to do is we would have to get the shroud status for this new player. Yeah. I think we should rename this to player index. Index is not a great name. Player index. Okay, so get shroud status. That doesn't return anything. Or what is this? Why is it not returning anything? What is this? Objects, shrouds, status, return. Shroud status. Okay, and shroud status is clear, partial clear. Shroud status. Get shroud. This one doesn't do anything with local player, right? Does not. Yeah, so I think depending on the shroud status, we need to do different things. I hope I'm on the correct path here. But basically, if it is clear or partial clear, Invalid but previous valid. Yeah, so if fogged or shrouded, if fogged or shrouded, if status equals fogged or shrouded, then we do one set of things, otherwise we do another set of things. Maybe. New player doesn't have a snapshot. Okay, let me take out this. So here, so if it's not fogged or shrouded, then we restore the parent object, right? And if it is, so we have a snapshot. New player has his own snapshot. So previous player didn't have a snapshot to real object, so real object must have been in the scene. Replace it with our snapshot. Remove parent object, add to scene. And then else if local player had a snapshot, has a snapshot, new player doesn't have a snapshot, which means restore original object. I have a snapshot. We could also add a counter to this ghost object here, counting how many ghost objects have been added to the scene. And if it is 0, then we know that we need to restore the parent object, right? And if it's larger than 1, then something is wrong. Yeah. 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 Okay, yeah. It's a bit tricky, yeah. I appreciate the comments from the EA guy, EA Mark. No. New player has his own snapshots. Previous player didn't have a snapshot, so real object must have been in the scene. Remove parent object, add to scene. Is that true though? I don't think that is true. Yeah, it's false. Because that also depends on whether that thing was in shroud, right? Okay, instead of doing all these complicated conditions, how about we go to here and we do we do bytes go ghosts added to scene. Ghost in scene count. Ghost in scene count 0. Okay, and then on add to scene. Scene snap. Then we would do if snap plus plus if snap do minus minus ghost and scene count. But I think it's not quite right. I think that is not quite right. Let's revert that to what it was before. I think what we need to do is this guy. Remove. So we add a boolean here, bool remove. Remove bool. Return false. Return true. Return true. Return false. Return true. Okay. Then here we have also bool return return true, return false, bool bool then we say here bool edit false. We say edit if edits plus plus ghost and scene count. Bool edit false or removed. 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 If removed. Okay. Okay, and then we can go back here. Okay, and now we have this information. Ghost and scene count. But get ghost and scene count const return that. Okay, and then we say then we remove let's delete all this, and let's delete all this. Let me say if mod get ghost and scene count. If get ghost and scene count. No, that one goes down here. Here we would say mod add to scene play index. And it won't do anything if it doesn't have one. And then we say here if ghost and scene count we also need to restore parent objects. What does this do? So if it's fogged or shrouded, then we add this to the scene. Okay. If we then figure out that the ghost and scene count is 0, then we restore the parent object. I don't know if that's correct. Probably still bugs in there. Okay, let's see if it compiles. Oh man. I think it's better to check with pro players. Cannot make assumptions about their ideas. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm very skeptical about all this bullshit. Yeah, I need water. Okay. Good. So then let's click here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so far so good. No, I already see bug here. There's a duplicate flag. Okay, so this is already broken. Yeah. Okay, so it's still duplicating objects. Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, it looks okay so far. Yeah, we need to understand why it creates those duplicate thingies. is it happening? Remove from scene. Add to scene. Let me put a breakpoint in here. Okay, so this is definitely hitting. Ghost and scene count 0. Let's put a breakpoint in here. Shrouded. Yeah. Add to scene. Yeah. Move from scene. Move from scene. I think here we can also return a boolean. And here as well. Then we return edits. And here return removed. And then we can say here if removed from scene, only then we do all this junk here. Right? Because if we don't remove it from scene, it means that the parent object should still be in place, right? Yeah. Then we actually also don't need this count here. Then we can just say, bool edit false, edits, if not edits, restore parent object. Boom. I think we can do that. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why we have duplicates. Oh boy. My gosh. we add it to the scene. But why does it have duplicates? Good. So. Okay, there we have the duplicate flag. Okay, that actually looks correct. Okay, this looks actually correct. I'm not sure what I changed, but this looks very correct now. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what changed here. I didn't expect it to be fixed now, but it somehow is fixed. Huh. Huh. Mm-hmm. I don't know why there are lights. Okay, so far things look... Oh no, there's a bug. This house is missing. Okay, so there's still bugs, but less bugs than before. It looks... there's also some blackness here. That's also a bug. This is black, yeah. So there's still bugs here, but it's also not too shabby. Yeah. Oh, now the oil derricks are gone. That's not good. Okay, so certainly still bugs. It's not awfully broken, but it is pretty broken. Yeah. At least the buildings in the home base are no longer missing. That's good. But yeah, this is worrying. Yeah, why do they disappear? Let me restart. Okay, let's click on the yellow guy. Okay, so right now we see the oil derricks, right? Yeah. So we see the oil derricks. Then we click again, and we still see them. Still do. Now we click on a different guy, like this guy. And we go back to the yellow guy. Everything looks okay. Let's go to the blue guy. Everything is fine. Under which condition does this disappear? So right now things looking good. But there's some condition under which it falls apart. Yeah. It's being captured now. I wonder if that is a problem. It's being captured. Okay, so now it's green. Let's click on yellow again. Aha. Aha. Okay. So it disappears when it was captured. When the owner has changed. When the owner has changed while... Okay. Okay, so so I but it's a lead. It is a lead, yeah. Okay, so when a building is captured, then yeah, I see. Okay, we have a lead on this. That's good. Okay, so if a building is captured, I don't know if like it spawns a new building. Like if the owner changes, does it mean it destroys the object and places a new object of the same kind but with a different house color and everything? Maybe. Maybe. I would assume that this orphaned objects would take responsibility of this kind of thing. When a game object drawable dies, it is removed from the rest of the engine. It leaves behind a ghost object in case any player didn't see the death. Have a fogged view of a pre-death object. We need to manually determine if these orphaned ghost objects ever become visible. Okay. What's the time? 2 hours, 21. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So right now I don't really know what happens when we capture an object. Let me search for capture. Um, on capture, old owner, new owner. Object capture. Okay, what happens? Rip through the behavior models. Handle partition cell maintenance. We have to undo our look for the old team. Design needs the player to be able to sell buildings. He steals from the AI. And this is the easiest fix. The only snafu would be a key building build listed by the AI that the player can capture. The AI tries to capture back but needs to not sell. In that case, a cinematic unsellable version of the building needs to be made. This fix has been okayed as the most non-lethal in November. The most non-lethal. And the partition, what does this do? I see. Partition cell maintenance. Okay, but it doesn't look like that. That the object is replaced or anything. I don't know why it disappears. Would it mean that maybe could it mean that that it's invalidated? That the status is invalidated? Maybe. Let me put a breakpoint here. Yeah. Okay, so we do have some invalids ones. What is it? Civilian buildings, check. Yeah. And supply dock. Object shroud and valid, supply dock. I have a suspicion what happened. So we have this ghost object, and then I suspect that the shroud status is invalidated because, like, when a team changes of an object, it gets a new house color, right? And like, you're not supposed to see it, right? You don't know it. Maybe. What? Yeah, I think this is a bigger investigation, but I think we made good progress. Things are behaving a bit better than previously, but it looks like there's like a lot of bugs coming together here. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a rabbit hole, as usual. Okay, cool. I think I will take a break here. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I will take a break here. Then I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.